Hey. Hey, everyone. Guess what? It's time for two things. It's time for Apex Arena Season 18 Semifinals. And it's also time for, hopefully, my Langrisser mobile music to not be making that crackly sound like last time. I do test my music every time. From what I can hear, it sounds fine, but apparently sometimes it sounds different to you than to me. So, someone will let me know. YouTube, a few seconds behind. Sorry about that, YouTube. My YouTube friends, but I'm here for you. Buffy, I see you. Enjoy your chippies. Let us know in the chat what flavors of chippies you got. I know you got quite the deal. Let us get some links posted, so all of our favorite friends will know to join us for this stream. Here's the other reason why it's important for me to go live a couple minutes early. Because a bunch of you forgot to cast your votes. Alright. Alright, alright. Here we are, my friends. Now, Disco, welcome to the chat. My Twitch is saying the stream is offline. Let me refresh that. Because that is demonstrably false, me being the one streaming it and knowing that I'm online. So, important things to look at. If you want to use your support tickets, I didn't buy them. I don't like to spend too much money on these. I guess if I saved them for next season, maybe it would be a decent investment. Normally, I don't bet on, like, the semifinals and the finals, because the games are close enough that the odds don't really matter. Like, the betting is close between these two guys, and it's about a 50-50 shot that either of them is going to win, so you're dumping a bunch of tickets on essentially, like, splitting the pot, you know, small winnings. This would be a game where, like, if these guys had a 50-50 shot, then it would be worth dropping a bet here, but they're not going to be playing their match, so it's not a 50-50 shot. But these are the kinds of, like, betting odd splits that you look for in the earlier rounds, like the top 16 is a good time to bet. Not so much now. Yeah, Ola Dips, personally, if I were you sitting on 5 tickets, I'd just be saving them for next season. Although, if you're not sure if you're even going to be around next season, and you'd rather just bet now and not have to worry about it, my bet is on Qtaru, just because he's a slight underdog in odds, but I think that the Qtaru versus Jayden match is pretty even. So, 50-50 shot of who's going to actually win the match. Better to get or shoot for a slightly tinier, better payout from Q winning than from Jayden winning. But that's just mathematical. There's nothing personal behind that, obviously. Yeah, Gold Magistrate, that's fine too if you think he's a slightly surer bet. Like, if you think he has a better chance of beating Qtaru, then that would be considered like a safer bet. You're not going to get as big a payout. So we are a couple minutes out from these games starting. Yeah, I think I put, like, you can see my Jayden is grayed out. I put, I think, 1 ticket on Qtaru, and I didn't buy any other ones because I have other things to do with my gold right now, so I'm just gonna sit on my gold. Unless someone comes in very convincing manner in the chat and convinces me to buy some tickets. Like if there's a hype train on Twitch. If I get enough new subs before this game starts in 1 minute and 15 seconds, then I could be convinced to buy some tickets. But they would go on Qtaru. So yeah, game starting soon. I would like to see, in addition to just my bet, I would like to see Qtaru win because Jayden's account has already won championship, I believe. Yeah, I think we went over this last week. Q's account has already won a championship, and it's probably the account that's going to be going through on this side. I'm not sure how Q manages things on his side. But the Qtaru account, Qtaru's always been a really good friend of the channel, and his account has not won a playoffs yet, so it would be fun to see something interesting happen. Bring that account value up even more than it already is. Hello, Grandlar. Hello, Bytes and Bits. Alright, 10 seconds till showtime. That means it's time for a pre-stream pour. And I'm just going to be pouring it into my mouth. I don't have a vessel this time. But we are going back with the Coke Zero Oreo collab. Which basically, you know those old things where they try to, like, scare the youth away from drinking pop? And they'll show, like, a glass of Coke with rusty nails in there, and it's like, after an hour, the rusty nails were clean. This kind of tastes like they just put a glass of Coke and, like, dissolved an Oreo in there. Which is pretty much what it says on the tin, so, I mean, can't fault them for that. Alright, too late to bet now. The only thing we have to do is we can either bet on the finals tomorrow, which is even a worse bet than today, or save your tickets for next season. Saw my mug for 5 seconds and then it pushed some ads. Yeah. The timing of the ads is weird. I'm gonna have to look into that. Like, it shouldn't be showing ads for... It might have just been, like, the timing of when you showed up, because it doesn't just do, like, pre-roll ads for everyone when they join, I think. It's like, it turns off pre-roll ads, and then if you happen to join the stream, like, right when an ad is gonna roll, that's how it does it. Yeah, it's too late. Kazemi, the games have already started. Well, technically the games have started, even though we're waiting for our competitors. Yeah. Even though we're waiting for our competitors, it's after 6 o'clock, so the games have started. That's true, that's a good point, Buffy. I mean, people who watch on Twitch are definitely supporting good old Kong, and I appreciate you, my friends. Sorry about the ads, but it does help my channel. And then we have the wealthy directors of their departments over watching on YouTube who support my channel in other ways. The totally hype donos. Okay, who are we waiting for, do you think? Are we waiting for Qtaru, or are we waiting for Jayden? I certainly hope we get some Qtaru in the chat. He has been a... Alright, everyone's here. Now this is the next wave of waiting. The second phase. Out of many phases of waiting. So yeah, it's too late to bet now, but let me know in the chat, since a lot of Twitch people are just showing up now, let me know in the chat who you bet on, if anyone. I know that Buffy over on the YouTube side blasted 6 tickets on Qtaru. Giant fan. Bites following my strategy of voting for, or betting for no one. Hopefully this stream is quick. I mean, I think these guys both play not necessarily aggressive, but they don't play turtly, so Mrs. K's parents are down for the weekend, and we're doing some pre-Thanksgiving gathering stuff tonight. So I'll head over there with the Dobermans, and I think we're just doing pizza tonight. Tomorrow's like the ham dinner. Disco's got 3 on Qtaru, and 2 tickets that will be refunded when the other guys don't show up. Alright, here we go. We have Jayden as player 1 on Eye of the Desert. We're getting the desert map. And we do have pretty factory-looking boxes. I like seeing Apotheosis still in these boxes. We've got a couple Whale Varelias in action. And yeah, it just so happened to work out for Qtaru. Like, Nemia can be kind of sketchy to put in your opening box, depending on like what the map is going to be and depending on what your position is going to be. You don't usually want to end up Nemia as player 2, usually. And Qtaru doesn't have to worry about that. Lucky for Jayden that he got player 1 with Nemia, but on the other hand, it's not a great Nemia map. Yeah, JB Famine, the Q versus Q game, Q played himself earlier, and he decides who's going to win between his 2 accounts. Rather than play it out. That'll let him focus on this one. So, the first pick BS, we're getting this BS already this season. Enya's not even out yet, and we're already seeing some first pick BS supremacy. Qtaru, on the other hand, going for the old, tried, tested, and true Celica here, who can enable a few things in his box. Okay, so Jayden securing a push lineup here with a healer and good tank. Qtaru getting his healer and kind of being forced on a tank pick now if he wants to take a tank with this Christian ban. The Emir ban is just good practice, good early ban practice anyway. Most boxes don't want to face Emir. So we are going to get both sides with Lightbringer. And now the real fun begins of seeing what the actual DPS game plan is going to be for these 2 players. They both have a lot of options available to them. Qtaru with a little bit more DPS heavy items remaining here, just because this Celica is still up. So Jayden getting the AO. AO definitely going to be on the new Forge AO staff. Hey Pon, welcome to the YouTube chat. Oh, Buffy wants to see Nemia in action. Alright, Qtaru with that 3rd pick Isolde. So we are getting the Celica-Isolde combo, which is really nice, especially if you've got a tank and you can kind of hide back on the back lines. Jayden does have some potential. I mean, he's kind of anchored by a tank a little bit, but he does have some potential to try to get in quickly on Qtaru. But that said, the way things are looking here now, kind of looks like Qtaru is going to have some time and space to get that Isolde built up. Oh, that was you, Pawn, with the hearts on the YouTube chat? Thank you, I appreciate it. Let's get some applesauces over there, too. Anyone who's a member of the YouTube channel can post applesauces, I believe. Okay, Apotheosis here is interesting. That Apotheosis, it's possible for him to bust through Lightbringer. And then we're getting another healer here. She could chip in as a DPS. Her revive is useful on the Apotheosis as well. But Qtaru basically picking up a bonus Virelia against a couple healers. That might not be super impactful, but it is going to rack up damage numbers, potentially keep Jayden on his toes, potentially force turn actions with making a healer do something at a certain point in the turn, and potentially act as a little bit of a can opener to pry open a little opening for someone like Andy or Isolde to finish off a kill. Yeah, Tyrantel left by both. I mean, that makes sense. If they both secured their tank already early, he was just there to give them pick and ban options in case, you know, in case someone aggressively banned out tanks. But I kind of agree with you, Fight and 251. I do like Qtaru's pick ban here a bit better than Jayden's for game 1. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Tyrantel would have had value for Qtaru as second tank, especially with a revive. So that would make Apotheosis being able to bust through the Lightbringer a little bit less effective because you have another tank waiting there ready for you. You also have more than enough DPS to finish the game with both Andy and Isolde. And, I mean, Tyrantel can chip in on the DPS side as well. But I think Virelia is a fine fifth pick, too. So, we've seen Jayden with this Butterfly and Lightbringer before. We've got a Butterfly and Apotheosis as well. It's an AoE lose command-based Apotheosis, an AoE-based AO. And it is a Holy Chris. Nothing too surprising on Qtaru's side. Sustenance, got an owl hat on that Isolde. So Jayden is going to try to creep in here safely. Ultimately has to put some pressure on. We were talking about pick ban, but now in terms of actual win cons, not just the units, but also the approach that's important. Catches a breeze on this AO. Qtaru is not going to be in any rush to move in here. Oh man, this stuff is terrible. You gotta be in the right mood for it. Alright, we got a nice Moby boost on this Apotheosis too. He's got the Celica Revive. So speaking of pressure, Jayden might be able to make something happen relatively quickly here. Now, Qtaru is going to want to start buffing this Lightbringer up. She is on Butterfly as well. It might be tempting, honestly, to throw Celica's Revive on her, too, given the fact that Jayden's team has to get through Lightbringer. Well, I guess he can AoE the team down as well. With Q only having Celica as a healer, possibly comboing AoEs could help weaken his team. But generally, you know, if you're playing normally, then Celica's Revive goes very nicely on Isolde. Goes pretty decently on Virelia. But I think Isolde is going to be more of a player for Qtaru than Virelia is. Oh, I was telling Mrs. K earlier, I think my mutton chops era is coming to a close, and I may enter my mustache era. Do Movember this year. Start Apex Arena Season 19 streams off with a ever-increasing, like, anime-style giant dad mustache. I think that could be good for the stream. Probably boost my subscription and donation revenues. My inspiration is, last week I watched Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. For the first time, mind you. Pretty good. Pretty good film. And the Valley of the Wind guys all had these hilarious, comical, like, giant anime mustaches that were, like, the size of their whole face. But it wasn't a beard, it was just the mustache. So I think that's what I'll aim for. I'm not sure how long it'll take me to get a stash like that, but probably not too long. Okay, so Q's gonna put the revive on Andy, at least to start. Armor affinity on the Andy as well. Almost certain that that Andy is Clock. We saw a lot of Breeze Andys pre-Celica, but the Andy is gonna be Clock in this situation. Alright, and Apotheosis is going to make his play, as we suspected. Jayden trying to make something happen early here with a fully juiced up, buffed up Celica revived Apotheosis. He caught the skill boost on his act again. It is enough to eat through that Lightbringer's first life. Okay, so now Qtaru's job is getting rid of 3 Apotheosis lives. And that is not one of them. Apotheosis really coming in like a heavyweight here. Healing back up to 90% hero HP. Okay, but Andy does finish him off. It takes both 3Cs. And now we have Jayden with turn priority. I guess she's back up to like 97%, but she's on her last life. So Jayden wants to finish her off, and then it is prime Qtaru hunting season. Question is how to do that. Qtaru definitely does not want Lightbringer dead. What debuffs did you pick up from that stat? Okay, so Horse is going to come in with some healing, and that's going to allow BS to jump in as well. Apotheosis, perfectly healthy, still has a revive. 100% HP, Last Right's active, so Apotheosis can probably combo with this BS. If it's even needed, maybe this BS just straight up kills Lightbringer. Oh, I guess she does, because Lightbringer's a demon right now. So, and she's debuffed. Yeah, this BS should eat Lightbringer for breakfast. Yeah, easy kill. Yep, and people in the chat lamenting that this is where, if this was Tyrantel, then at least you still have a tank to hide behind at this point. But now, Qtaru's gonna have to all DPS it. Which, I mean, it's technically possible, given the fact that all Jayden has in the back lines now in terms of DPS is an AO. So if Qtaru uses the rest of this turn to clean up BS and Apotheosis, then things aren't looking too bad. Yeah, Apotheosis and Bright Summoner are a pretty funny combo together. Okay, Andy gonna make another attempt at this Apotheosis. We saw that not work last turn. At least he keeps clocking it. But this Apotheosis is still several hits away from dead. Jayden is going to want to join the Freyden with more DPS to keep the pressure on Qtaru's team. AO wants to jump in as soon as she can. Which I think swap is now. She can just jump to Horse and then drop a fat black hole on this team. Let's see if that happens now, or if Jayden wants to delay that. Potentially you want to drop the black hole, like, after Celica's action, so she can't heal it down immediately. So he may want to delay by a turn or two. Or by an action or two. Do something with Lightbringer, do something with Celica. No, he's going to go with AO right away. Pulls Apotheosis to relative safety. Oh, and just goes for the single target kill on Virelia. That's not a bad move either. Easy kill. It also means you don't have to deal with her reviving because it's a magical attack that killed her. It also puts more DPS in Qtaru's face. Okay. Qtaru gonna go for, hoping for the AoE pop to finish off this life. Does not quite do the trick. It gets him down to 3%. And Celica does not have her 3C back yet. This Apotheosis could honestly just run away. Get some healing back from Celica, move the tank up, and then come back in to fight. Isolde did not get her guard ignore from that 3C. He's going to be getting healed back up anyway. I was going to say, like, it's still possible to AoE through here, but... Okay, so Isolde has her 3C. Doesn't have her act again, but she has her 3C at least. Andy has his 3C, he has his revive. Qtaru has turn priority, so Isolde could 3C kill this Bright Summoner. That would fully stack her up. And then you're not as worried about the Apotheosis killing your Isolde. Interesting with the this Celica going with DPS. Oh yeah, okay. Isolde and Andy are now demons. That might make the Isolde 3C kill a little bit scarier against BS. Maybe. Maybe some counter kill worries, especially with your shield down. Your last rights are down. Injured 3C into BS. She wants to do something to get a kill, though. Maybe now's not the time. Either way, clones here. Apotheosis skills are down, so you may honestly want to try to focus on getting rid of the BS first. This redemption is going to hurt Isolde or Andy. I think BS has to be your first target. Okay, much easier, safer kill on Clone. The 3C AoE pop does not do too much. But it does get Isolde her third stack. So she's now fully stacked. Fully stacked and minorly debuffed. But now I'm worried about this Isolde's health and safety. Yeah, 251 you say, Andy versus the world, but we've already seen Andy have to empty 3/3Cs into this Apotheosis, and it still has a revive left. So, I don't know, I think Andy versus the world, if you've got a Lightbringer and a Celica and one DPS still alive, that's a tall order. It's possible, but it's a tall order. Okay, BS goes for the kill on Andriole. Probably follow-up kill his second life with the horse, given that he's only at 20%. So it's a fully stacked up Isolde, but she is against two scary DPS, one of them which outclasses her. Alright, Celica, if she survives this round, she does have her 3C back. And Isolde does have her last rights back. So she's fully stacked up. Oh, never mind. No, she's not. Oh, Lightbringer finishes the kill thanks to that class advantage. Wow. Nice DPS Lightbringer. And major rip for Qtaru. 7th Heaven. Showing off that 7th Heaven spirit. So Qtaru is going to be player 1 on this one. It's Floating Courtyard, so another awkward map. Desert is kind of awkward. Floating Courtyard, super awkward. This is one of the maps that can influence pick and ban based on like which characters actually work on this map. So let's see if we see some sidebox adjustments. Oh no, I spoke too soon. Qtaru, even though he lost first game, opted for player 2. Ooh. Opting for player 2 on this map, to me says... he's gonna try for slow play again. He may decide to sub Jace out. It's not one of Jace's best maps, but if you have an act again, you can still make him work. Like, you can go in, throw some Vortex down on the other team, and then give him the act again. That said, I expect Eshin to be banned here, so he would have to sub in, like, Liana to get access to another act again. If you know you're playing as player 2, sometimes subbing Liana in not the worst idea anyway, so we shall see. Oh, this is really interesting. So the Jace does go out, but it's for the Nemia, who I don't really like as player 2. I guess on this map there are limited slots, so Nemia being able to clog it up is a little bit more compelling. And we also got the Liana instead of Nemia subbed in for player 1, Jayden. And the chat is just really upset about that Varelia 5th pick last game. Okay, Jayden with the first ban, BS again. Definitely does not like the BS. Let's find out, Bites. Hang on. Alright, we got a poll. We got a poll going in Twitch. So Jayden gonna go with the first pick, Isolde. This baits out the Liana and Eshin bans here, because Qtaru definitely does not want to have to deal with a accelerated Isolde getting ready in the back corridors here and then coming in and eating his whole team. That said, let's see what Qtaru's win con ends up being here. Q aggressively banning out tanks. It does leave Tyrantell pick, which I think Tyrantell's a fine tank, especially flying on this map. But it buys Qtaru a little time to figure out a couple more DPS bans next round as well. Oh, do I need to add another poll option just for you, Byte? Do I need to add nuance to this poll? Come on, this is Twitch. We don't do nuance on Twitch. I fully expect a Tyrant pick here. I can't imagine Jayden deciding to go tankless this early in the game. Especially without accelerators for Isolde. He does want her stacked up because Qtaru does have a tank and healer. And I think Qtaru is going to play this pretty similar to how he did in Game 1, which is to try to get a couple, you know, scarier DPS here. Remember, this is physical guard only. Other than being just a terrifying DPS unit in his own right. Kind of called Qtaru's bluff a little bit, though, because Q not banning the Tyrantell still, just banning out more DPS. Jayden can lean on this to tank physical if he has to, so yeah, sure enough, Qtaru's going to be trying to pick some magical threats here now to deal with that. Maybe also forces a Tyrantell pick here, but this is AoE anyway, so like it's not like you're tanking Virelia AoEs. Yeah, Vermilion. Ymir has physical guard. Kind of similar to Bernhardt. Still no tank pick, but the Celica with Ymir combo, so we're getting guaranteed Super Clock Ymir as well. Still doesn't ban the tank, so leaves him with a 5th pick Tyrantell possibility. Gets his Andy, who can guard ignore around that Ymir. You know, I mean, I think this pick line looked really terrifying from Jayden. You know, you got Ymir and Celica, you got Isolde. Physical guard only. So we have a couple magical threats here. No more magical threats left, so Qtaru's going to have to pick someone. Yeah, it's going to be another AoE here. That said, Jayden also has lots of healing, so I guess maybe it'll just be the tiles and possibly single target guard ignore from Nemia that brings value. I think I'm not exactly... I wouldn't say this is a comfortable position for Qtaru, though, because his team's going to get pummeled while he's trying to do stuff. It's just a question of if he can get enough kills on Jayden so that he's not as instantly and immediately threatening. Hey, Joshua, welcome to the chat. Yeah, I mean, Varelia, it looks like Varelia is going to have to do some heavy lifting here. Yeah, man, Buffy, I mean, that's why they're best of 3 games, because someone has to win 2 matches. It ain't over till it's over. We've seen upsets in playoffs before. Upsets, comebacks, untimely disconnects, timely PayPal payments. We've seen it all. Alright, so this is the important moment, really, is the choosing of the skills, soldiers, and positioning on this map especially. Oh, I wish I had the Dobercam set up tonight. Applesauce is having some very intense dreams right now. You may hear her tiny dream woofins in the background. She's probably dreaming about a conflict between 2 epic heroes on the floating sky map. So we do have physical guard on Emir. All single target on Annie. Single target. Normal Isolde. And no question that that was going to be happening. We instantly get the armor affinity and the revive on Emir. And honestly, that is enough to scare me for Qtaru's team. Emir is a terrifying, terrifying gentleman. So Varelia flies. Okay, that Celica revive goes on the Andy again. We got some sad Qtaru investors on the YouTube side and some excited Jayden investors on the Twitch side. Interesting. How's this Qtaru poll going? Okay, we got overwhelmingly people seem to think that Qtaru would have won with 5th pick Tyrantel. 1 vote. Not necessarily that Varelia was the right pick, but that he wouldn't necessarily have won even with Tyrantel. Okay, activating Star Crown with Andy's partnership. Depor still believes in Qtaru. I still believe in Qtaru too. I don't think the game is over until all 3 matches are done. Hey Zilla, welcome to the chat. Better late than never, my friend. I'm having a great day. I'm just enjoying some high-level Apex here before heading out to visit Mrs. K's family for some Thanksgiving pizza. So the day's just getting started, really. But it's hard to say you're not having a good day when there's pizza involved. Okay, now this is a absolutely juiced up Emir. He's got the little phallus troops now. Mir certainly has the potential to solo this team. Joshua, have you gone this long not realizing I'm Canadian? Bless you, my friend. I mean, the Emir is scary enough. Emir could solo Qtaru's team, but then we have Isolde as a backup. And when stacking up your Isolde is your backup plan, that's terrifying too. So she also picked her Guard Ignore as her first stack. Honestly, Zilla, any delicious food that you eat around Thanksgiving time is Thanksgiving food. Our real Thanksgiving dinner is going to be tomorrow, but tonight is just like, welcome to town. Chill out and have some pizza for the evening. Her parents live like 4 hours away, so they drove down for the weekend. It's nice to have something quick and easy, quick and dirty like pizza after you've been on the highway for 4 hours. I mean, I don't have enough faith in Virelia to think that she's gonna blow up Jayden's whole team solo. So even if you are enabling her with Andy and throwing tiles down and giving her all kinds of reach and threat range, like once Qtaru goes with a big Virelia double pop, then Jayden kills Virelia. I mean, I guess at least she can revive from Emir killing her. And you can keep her in guard range if you want to keep a Dank Elmo from one-shotting her. Qtaru flexing multiple owl hats. Dang. I can count the number of owl hats I have on my main account on one finger. This one. Yeah, I think Breeze Virelia is pretty standard. Or pretty common, I should say. I don't want to give the impression that it's like the de facto meta build, but I think there are a healthy percentage of Breeze Virelias out there. Alright, Emir already going in for the cutthroat anti-Lightbringer here. Oh, he does kill her. That Lightbringer goes down, one shot, and now we have an absolutely terrifying, fully buffed, fully stacked up Emir right in everyone's face. Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't be super surprised to see Qtaru click that button at this point. This is hard to come back from. Jayden has turn priority too. So that Emir is doing some shit next turn, no matter what happens here. I don't know, 251. I think Qtaru has probably one of the most wailed out accounts in Global. I mean, this is not killing Emir. There was an attempt. I think it's just that Lightbringer is not going to survive one-shot attempts from, like, fully, absolutely stacked out, best, scariest DPS units in the game. I mean, the Apotheosis Bright Summoner combo was a different story. Like, that's custom-built anti-Lightbringer tech. And this is pretty much just Ymir being Ymir. So that's not really Qtaru's fault or Lightbringer's fault. That's Ymir's fault. Jayden being patient here, just healing his Ymir back up from a distance. And gonna let Qtaru take a crack at it, considering he has 2 revives. So let's see what Qtaru's next idea is. Remember that this is a threat. So Qtaru moved his Virelia slightly back out of Dank Elmo range. Is that out of Dank Elmo range? Can she reach 5 with Scepter with her single target? She could potentially kill Virelia. This is why Virelia is really good for very certain kinds of combat. Like, if you're tankless, backed up in a corridor, and you're up against Ymir, and your weapon is to Heaven Sanction it twice, and then it just gets fully healed from afar by Celica, like, that's not a super excellent use of a Virelia. Yeah, this is a chunky Ymir. And he can't do it. The Nemi is not going to be able to do it. Might as well try, but it's all over. Okay, Qtaru throwing in the towel on the Ymir front and is just going to now try to kill the the rest of Jayden's team, which is not a bad idea, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I mean, as soon as we saw Celica and then Bright Summoner stack up this Ymir, like, on turn 1 back here, it was like, that. This is now Ymir versus Qtaru's entire team. Why not? Why not refresh the miracle buffs? Bright Summoner probably jumping in here for a Virelia kill? Maybe a Nemia kill? Because Virelia kill will act Andy again. So Nemia a little bit safer. Also takes away a currently up action. Yeah, so that takes Nemia's attempt on Ymir, which would have been a fruitless attempt, but at least takes that off the table. I know, No Name, tell me about it. Maybe for the finals, submit that idea in feedback on the Discord. They're always taking feedback, and I think that's a good piece of feedback. Okay, let's see. Emir's turn to do some Emir stuff. Alright, very healthy kill on Andy, and now we have Jayden's full team against Virelia, who has already tried to double explode Emir and basically got him to half. The dream is over, my friends. We're gonna have 7th Heaven Jayden versus Q in the finals. Tomorrow. I'll be streaming it. Qtaru wants to go out with a bang. Oh! That was timed so well with the Awoo react. It sounded like Virelia was doing Jugler's 3C. But yeah, Qtaru didn't want to quit the match without at least blowing up that Virelia once, but now the rest of Jayden's team can finish her off. Yeah, and it's all over. Let's check out the finals. Okay, Q. 2 big accounts. Let's go ahead and check. So, season 13, 14, 15 champ. 13, 14, 15. Versus season 15 second place and 16 champ. Oh, there's gonna be beef tomorrow. This is the fight to see who the true Apex champ is. Jayden took the crown, prevented Q from quadruple back-to-back championship. And now Q's coming back for the gold. We will watch that tomorrow before my Thanksgiving dinner. I'm not rich, but a number of people apparently are. 251 got a lot of gold for betting 10 tickets on Jayden. But the number is so big, I don't know how much it is. Hilarious. Alright. What time's the finals? Same time as this stream started, Zilla, which I know is not super helpful for you, given that you were super late. But it starts... Let's see. Let's go server time. So it's currently 17 o'clock server time. That means finals will start at 16 o'clock server time. 16 o'clock server time. You can, if you don't know what time server time is, you can come and click your bread and it'll show you. So yeah, tomorrow, let's tune in and watch the finals. I'm actually going to be here for this finals. I've missed the last couple, I think, probably because of like other holidays. For some reason, Zilong just schedules all their Apex finals on holidays. Like, I know it was on Christmas Eve one time, which, like, not streaming that. If I was still in the finals, I wouldn't even be playing that, I don't think. So yeah, meet back here tomorrow, and we will watch the grand finale of Beef Fest Season 18, Champion Q versus Champion Jayden. That will be a good one. I think that'll be probably a little bit beefier than today's match was. So thanks for coming by, thanks for supporting the stream, I'll see you all tomorrow. Happy Langrissing, my friends.